dodge bullets, baby.
This is beyond fairy tale. It's inconceivable.
There it is. Doyle's done it. This is the greatest sport in the
world. Over the years, there have been many greats. Some have amazed us. Others have come from obscurity. But each had one thing in common. All were men. Great female players have come close. They've even made the final table. But none has ever won it all at the main event. Tonight, one woman, Tiffany Michelle, is left standing, and she is poised to make a run at the improbable.
As each day's gone by, I've started getting more and more respect. I know that I can play with the best of the best.
With just 44 players left, can she do it? Can Tiffany Michelle make history? Welcome to the World Series of Poker, presented by Milwaukee's Best Light. Hi, everyone. I'm Lon McCarron, along with Norman Chad. Just 44 players remain here in the Rio Poker Room, and among them are some emerging forces like poker pro Kelly Kim and Dean Hamrick, who will go it alone now that childhood friend Justin Scott has been eliminated.
We're playing RD.
And Mike the Mouth Matiso headlines a list of big names left in the field, including the man he once again shares a table with, Chino Ream. But taking center stage at the featured table is the one and only female left, Tiffany Michelle.
Her nickname is Hot Chips, and here at the main event, Tiffany has run hot. Her chip stack has grown high.
Let's look at the E-Trade financial chip count. Nikolai Losef is the tournament leader right now. Brandon Cantu in fourth. Some other notable chip stacks include Tiffany Michelle right now in sixth place. Also at our featured table, the aggressive Christian Dragomir from Romania and the uber-aggressive Keto Pham from Dallas, Texas.
You have to take the hood off so your parent can see you on TV.
He's hiding from them.
Keto talks to 23-year-old poker pro Garrett Beckman, and from under the hood, Beckman does not talk back.
Lines at 25 and 50,000 here at this featured table. Action on Joe Bishop, 35-year-old amateur from Cincinnati, on the Milwaukee's Best Light Pocket Cam, 7-6 of clubs.
Bishop is a lumber salesman.
You're not safe. You're fixing to call this blind.
Keto is in the big blind.
I don't want to raise your blind, Keto.
Does he go door to door with the lumber?
Bishop limps in for 50,000. Tiffany Michelle with Queen 9 of spades.
Tiffany, give me some love, baby.
Love in the form of 200,000 chips.
That's a raise.
Tiffany raises to 200,000.
All you can eat.
Keto folds his big blind.
Look, I'm scared of the lady, but you know, I'm always kind about donating chips, so why the hell not? I know you do, dear.
Bishop makes the call.
Who sells lumber these days?
Bag calls too, and they're like, I just wanted to donate chips.
Michelle and Bishop to the flop. And the flop is 10-8-10. Couple of clubs there. Bishop with a straight flush draw. Michelle with a gut shot straight draw. Bishop checks.
How often do people need lumber? I mean, firewood, sure, but
Call.
Who's buying lumber on a weekly basis?
Tiffany Michelle bets 300,000.
I don't want to question the guy's career choice, but really.
Are you watching poker? Bishop called, and Bishop hits his flush. Earns the check mark, and he checks.
Joe checks.
That is one cool and coy lumber salesman.
Tiffany Michelle with a straight draw, but only queen high right now. We'll call.
So you bet at the flush and you hit your flush now? That's how this is going to go?
Tiffany's got nothing but a gut shot.
Call.
Bishop makes the call.
Tiffany's got queen high, and she's not breathing.
River card 3 of hearts. Bishop already had the check mark. Bishop checks a third time.
Well, will Michelle wave the white flag or charge ahead?
She's been aggressive. 600,000.
Poker pro Steve Zolotow is not a fan of firing multiple bullets with nothing. He says after the first bullet misses, players fire the second one into their foot and the third one into their brain.
Call.
Bishop calls.
600 in the call. You're the better. You'll look at this.
Tiffany doesn't want to show.
She was called. She's first.
Tiffany mucks.
See, she could have won it with queen high for all she knows.
Bishop turns over his winning flush to take that pot.
The future is in lumber, Lon, not plastic, lumber.
Pretty good Hollywood, Joe.
No, not really.
You see her bet and you look at us like, oh, she hit your flush. Oh, you hit your flush.
Well, no, freaking the thing is freaking Wasn't high enough, that was the concern.
Tiffany having trouble getting things going here at the featured table, but with a chip stack of almost $4 million, she's still well above average. Norman, every main event brings with it the possibility of seeing something spectacular, whether it's an unknown accountant climbing to the top or a well-known pro falling just short. And this year brings a very exciting possibility. Will a woman finally win the main event?
Lon, Tiffany Michelle is on the doorstep of history. Now, if she can bust that door down, that would be great for women and great for poker. And personally, I love the fact that just 1 year ago, she was a reporter, like me, covering the main event. So while I may be a lost cause when it comes to women, Tiffany gives me hope when it comes to poker.
Her best day was day 5, winning 2.5 million chips.
Did I raise that hand? You called me a 6-7 student.
Yes. You know, I'm not very intelligent, so I'll play pretty much anything.
Good to know. And someone get all your tips.
Yeah?
Boy, she's developing some Phil Hellmuth characteristics.
On the E-Trade Financial Tournament ticker, you see the new lavender chip worth $100,000. Two of the biggest stacks have a lot of those. They're going head-to-head. The river card is out. Brandon Cantu, first to act against chip leader Nikolai Losev.
Two 27-year-old poker pros banging heads here.
Cantu checks the river to Losev now. He's pushing out about $3 million. Oh, what was that?
No, Losev was about to bet, then a change of heart. You can't do that. It's a string bet.
Now Losev will bet $1.5 million.
Hold on a second. Yes.
He pushed the whole stack forward.
Exactly.
Losev made a forward motion, which could elicit a reaction, and then pulled it back.
Floor over here.
That type of action could give a player an unfair advantage because of added information.
Brought it back.
Brandon's going to question it.
I might be slitting my throat for asking for this. I might just murder myself if this is.
The tournament official saying it's not a bet until a player has released his chips.
No, hold on. He went like this. He goes out like this, he pulls it back, and then he goes like this.
Cantu's absolutely correct as to what happened.
Motion. I mean, what is
as
that?
forward as it gets.
Well, I had to set up the bet.
Hold on. No, that's not. Hold on. What? This is not forward motion?
That's Michael Carroll.
That's what he did. Then he came back.
It's still cut and drop.
Wow. So I can do one of these.
You can push your whole stack forward and move it back?
Back? No.
No, come on.
That's not. Come on, man. No way.
Hold on, I want another ruling.
Yeah, get Jack or somebody. Come on. No way.
I agree with Carroll and Cantu. I don't like that ruling.
And this is a very critical moment. This pot could determine the tournament chip leader. Tournament director Jack Effel's been called, and we'll check back in on that situation. Right now to table 2, Chino Ream in position to eliminate a player after the flop. Chino leads with pocket queens. Chris Crilly at risk with ace queen. Turn card is an 8. No help to Crilly.
Crilly needs an ace or he will be eliminated.
River card is a king, and Chris Crilly is gone in 44th place. Done in by Chino Ream. Chino adds $1.5 million chips to his stack. Crilly picks up $154,000.
Crilly cashed in last year's main event. Did not play another tournament until this year's main event. Back-to-back cash is very nice.
This is what you're telling me I can do.
Meanwhile, back to the field, that string bet brouhaha has attracted a lot of attention. Jack Effel on site.
Way too ahead.
I'm trying to get the full facts over what's happened so I can make a good decision based on the set of circumstances.
Look like a jerk. You're telling me, because we're in the same distance. He's in the 7. You just told me that I can do this. This is what you're saying. Wait, just let me finish. Let me finish what I'm doing, because I haven't released anything.
He makes a quick call, he can bring it back.
I can bring it back,
He can say call and you bring it back.
and I can do that.
No, that you cannot do. So what I want to see is how far did he go out when he came out here?
As far as I just know.
That's about right. That is about right.
With the whole stack.
The whole stack.
Whole stack of chips.
Okay.
And then he comes back.
But he didn't release it.
Losev can't even state his own case. He does not speak much English.
He cuts out 15 chips.
Okay.
He didn't let go of the stack.
And he didn't really, and that's the rule, guys. At this point, the 1.5 million is going to stand as the bet, and the action is going to be back here.
Wow.
I call.
Cantu calls $1.5 million chip bet. Shows a full house, and Losev mucks.
Terrible ruling.
Tournament director Jack Effel ruled that Losev never released the full $3 million into the pot. I don't understand that ruling.
I'm going to start bluffing you guys out of your shoes by moving my
That's what I'm
stack.
saying. You open it up to that.
That is not
wow.
Losev will get talked to about his actions. Brandon would have won $1.5 million more had he won his argument, but he still took a big enough pot to take over the tournament lead.
Is he bluffing? I think trying to bluff me here. I bet that ace said, what is he thinking? What is he trying? When the ace came off on 4th Street, he played with his chips. 13 to 12 to 1, 16 to 4 to 1, 8 to 2. Makes my two pair good. Unless I'm drawing dead. I like my chances. I'm all in. We play at FullTiltPoker.com.
Being the last woman standing is validation just on a whole new level. It's fun. It's cool to be like a young, cute chick in poker doing well. It seems to be an oxymoron for people. People don't expect it. And I like to surprise people, and I think I've started doing that, and I know I play with the best.
But Tiffany says most men believe women are tight players. She uses that to her advantage, and she's not afraid to get aggressive.
Tiffany Michelle with pocket eights, the part-time actress, died on ER one time. Did you know that?
Oh, her acting wasn't that bad. Well, at last year's World Series, she was carrying around a microphone. I think she likes this a whole lot more.
She rates it to 150. Dimmadov with ace-5 offsuit.
Scare me, Ivan.
Mad Russian.
I love that, man.
Ace-5 offsuit with a re-raise to 475.
We saw Alex Kravchenko at last year's final table. We saw Nikolai Losev a little while ago. Russians are making big inroads in poker.
Action back to Tiffany Michelle.
You have a crush on me, Ivan? You always want to play with me.
Next time we can come for you, okay?
Yvonne playing hard to get.
She needs 325,000 to call, and she does. So once again, Tiffany Michelle heads up, going to a flop with Dimmadov here. Flop is Jack King 8. Michelle with a set of eights.
8 of spades.
She's first to act. She checks.
Michelle hopes Demidov will be the aggressive one and trap himself.
And Yvonne will do just that. 525,000.
I'm going to raise.
Tiffany Michelle.
Yvonne really losing interest in Tiffany now.
1.6 million total.
I don't think Demidov will dance any longer with Tiffany here.
I'm gonna fold. No need to count.
Dimmadov will fold, and Tiffany Michelle will take that pot.
I told you, Tiffany, you're the man. You're the man. I said that since yesterday. You are the man.
Tiffany Michelle's up and down day continues as she wastes no time establishing her presence at this featured table. Out in the field, the string bet controversy still the topic of conversation at the scene of the non-crime. Losev is back at the table.
The new thing in poker, the pump fake is coming. It is coming. I mean, I want all-out pump fakes from now on.
Man, that's strong.
I mean, I might start bringing them out here, hold it for 15 seconds for a reaction, and then bring it back.
What?
My Russian's a little rusty, but that doesn't sound good.
Wow. Get Jack back over here. Please, please. Get Jack back over
Now
here.
they want the tournament director back.
Who is he talking to then?
Only English is allowed at the table to ensure that everyone understands everything said.
I care. What? I don't understand. Man, get Jack over here. I care. I don't like, my problem is you keep talking, I don't know, you looking at me and talking. It's English only on this table.
Yes, it is.
He keeps talking in whatever language he's looking at me. What are you saying?
Yes, sir.
Sir, I'm no speak okay.
Okay, sir. English only.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
If you do it again,
I know.
give you a penalty.
Okay.
We break the English only rule up here in the booth all the time.
Time.
Obviously, emotions running very high as we get closer to the final table, and the importance of every decision is magnified. Back to our feature table. 41 players left in this tournament. Action on Joe Bishop. Bishop with pocket jacks.
He's a lumberjack, lad. See, the English only rule can backfire.
And he raises to 225 over to Keto Pham. Ace King offsuit.
Keto, always aggressive. He's been hamstrung, though, by a short stack.
Pham in the small blind.
I'm all in.
And moves all in.
Keto. All in.
For about 1.3 total.
Don't do it. I tell you. I can beat you with ace queen. So, what you think?
So you got queens then or what?
Bishop trying to get a read.
At this point, you can at least talk. Come on, baby.
That's a first.
If Bishop puts Keto on aces, kings, or queens, he's got to fold. Otherwise, it's an easy call.
You may not even be racing.
Does he want to put Keto at risk?
Call.
You got pair?
Yeah.
Keto at risk and behind.
Yeah, I thought we were racing.
Two is here.
There are the jacks.
Yeah, we know what's going to happen, so
I see the nefarious reputation of pocket jacks have reached Cincinnati, where Joe's from.
A lot at stake. You've got to like their table manners. Keto fam at risk.
All right, now. Ace King versus pocket jacks. The flop, and there's a jack. Bishop with a set.
Big flop for Bishop.
Full outer.
Fam now needs even more help.
Keto with a straight draw.
Let's see the turn.
Turn card now. It pairs the board and gives Bishop a full house and eliminates Keto fam right there.
Hey, really, don't worry about the
Keto had made a pot limit Omaha final table earlier at this World Series.
Good luck.
2 six-figure cashes for Keto fam at this year's World Series of Poker. He earns over $154,000 for his efforts here. A very well-liked and respected player makes his exit, and we are now down to our final 40 players.
2008 World Series of Poker, presented by Milwaukee's Best Light, main event.
Back to the Rio, right to table 2, where Mike the Mouth Matiso was sitting, but he's a quiet mouth right now watching Chino Ream, who has pocket eights, in a hand against Craig Marquis and Felix Osterland, who is all in with ace-10 and waiting for Chino's decision.
Do you want action, my friend?
I'm not sure.
I'm not either.
1.335.
I don't know what you have. I think I'm putting you on what you have.
I don't think so, but I want action.
See, this conversation is in English, and I don't understand a word of it.
I call.
That I understand.
Chino Ream makes the call to put Osterland at risk. Craig Marquis folds. Osterland all in and trailing Chino Ream. Ream with pocket eights. Osterland ace-10.
Osterland not happy with Ream's call. The 22-year-old will be at risk.
All right, now the flop. Is 10 deuce 8. Ream nearly puts his hand away with a set of eights.
That will do it unless Osterland gets running 10s or running aces.
It's a queen on the turn, and that will end the hand. Ream wins it. Felix Osterland knocked off in 38th place.
And Chino running hot, hot, hot.
Don't say I didn't gamble, boys.
You put 20% of your stack in, buddy.
Don't say I'm not here to gamble, boys.
That's an insanely horrific call. I don't care if you won or not.
Mikey just hating on me right now.
I love you.
Because I'm
but
stacking
that was the
shit.
worst call in the history of, life.
Really?
Chino continuing to live and thrive on the edge of recklessness. Nearby, Dean Hamrick's tournament life is on the line, but he's ahead with kings up after the flop against Chris Klodnicki's queens up.
Hamrick's childhood buddy Justin Scott eliminated earlier in the day in 67th place.
Turn card to 7. Klodnicki needs help to knock Hamrick out.
Klodnicki needs an ace or a queen to eliminate Dean Hamrick.
River card is a tray. Klodnicki can't get it done. Hamrick doubles up. Yeah, baby! That is Yale Hamrick on the rail cheering for his twin brother. The two siblings, obviously not identical twins, but perhaps it's their differences that have helped to make Dean Hamrick the poker player he is today.
I was a twin, and I got my foot lodged in my mother's rib cage. That caused some congenital birth defect. I was born with dislocated hips, feet, and knees. My mom likes to say that we were wrestling around in the womb. When you're born a little different, kids can be mean. If you don't let them get to you, it makes you stronger. And because of that, it's probably made my life better. My mom always said the best thing for me was growing up with a twin, because I had no choice but to compete with him. I've always had a competitive side, and poker was one of the only sports I could do. It was something that definitely got that competitive edge out. To have a shot to win the main event of the World Series at this age and this times, it's pretty exciting.
And Dean Hamrick with a real shot here at the $9 million. This is the second year in a row he has cashed in the main event.
Good hand, though.
This is my twin brother. Just looks like he's 50.
Dean just one of 37 players left in the main event. The chip average is 3.7 million, and the lone lady left in the event, well above that right now, Tiffany Michelle with 6.5 million chips. She's a certified massage therapist too, as well as a pretty good poker player. Joining the featured table now, the trucking account manager from St. Louis, Dennis Phillips, who was a chip leader earlier here on day 6. Action is on Christian Dragomir, who also was a tournament leader for a little bit. Looks down at 10-8 off suit.
Well, at least that's better than the 10-4 he beat Phil Hellmuth with.
And he will limp in for 30,000. Tiffany Michelle in the big blind with Queen 8.
You and me?
Yes.
Friendly check.
Okay. Thanks.
Checks are option. Battle of the blinds. Flop is deuce 8-6. Each pair their 8. Tiffany has Christian dominated.
I wonder if Phil Hellmuth is keeping up with Dragomir's progress online.
Dragomir bets 125,000 and a friendly call from Tiffany. Turn card is an ace. Michelle still ahead. Dragomir doesn't shy away. That's 175,000.
Dragomir leads out again.
Michelle with a call.
No hesitation from Michelle.
Keep betting.
Bring on the chips, Michelle says. A king on the river gives Michelle the check mark. Dragomir checks now.
Christian finally puts on the brakes.
What are you going to call here? 5?
$500,000 from Tiffany Michelle.
At no point of this hand did Tiffany Michelle believe she was behind, and she was right. Dragomir has said he has trouble playing against women.
I just can't see how can I play this now. I want to win one, you know. Otherwise, I'm just taking.
Otherwise, you're a sissy.
No, it's not about that. It's about winning one, you know. When you play poker, from time to time.
Then win one. Then win one, buddy.
Nah, I'm not folding. I'm not folding.
Is that Romanian for I'm calling?
He does call.
He does make the call.
I just have a small pair.
What pair is that?
You're first, and you show
I have an 8.
She shows the 8.
Wood with?
What's the kicker? Oh, that's a better kicker than Christian had.
Was that a bluff? It was a value bet. It was a value bet.
I just didn't think you had an ace or king, really.
Tiffany Michelle takes that pot, just shy of $2 million.
Dragomir's thinking women.
Dragomir takes a hit. Tiffany Michelle continues her climb towards a chance at World Series history. Back inside the Rio, Brandon Cantu has been moved to table 2. Instead of dealing with Nikolai Losev, he gets to play with Mike Matiso.
Cantu's playing a lot of hands. The mouth is not.
Heads up, Matiso leads pocket 7s to Cantu's king 10. Flop is deuce 6-4, 3 small cards. Matiso has the lead. That's 300,000. Cantu lays it down.
It's a pretty good flop for this hand.
Let's see it.
That's a pretty good flop. That's a pretty good flop for that hand.
I promise if you put him to the test, he would have mucked himself.
You think?
Could he have taken the big raise right there? I don't know. Could he have taken the heat?
Could I have? I told you I'm not folding anything to him if he comes over me. I already told you that.
Cantu's got quite a reputation.
You think that I don't have balls? I'll show you balls.
Where are the balls?
I'll show you.
The mouth is back. Yes! Nearby, that's Kelly Kim celebrating, and with good reason. He just flopped a nut flush against Andrew Roskam. Roskam pushed all in after flopping top pair. Kim called. Roskam needs help to stay alive.
Roskam, a 26-year-old pro from Cleveland, is going to need runner, full house, or quads, or he's done.
Turn card now. Pairs the board. Roskam still with a chance.
Well, the first runner's always easy. The second one is a tough one.
That's the one that gets you.
Well, Roskam will need a jack or a 9 to stay alive.
All right, now the river card. It is a 6. Kelly Kim will take that hand and eliminate Andrew Roskam in 37th place.
Kelly Kim making some noise here, and he's got a rail full of noise over there.
Kim takes that $5 million chip pot, and he's sitting pretty right now. At another table, Dean Hamrick is watching tablemates Peter Neff, who is all in, and Daro Suharto. Suharto's ace-jack dominates Neff's ace-9. And here's the flop, and Suharto pairs his jack to take a bigger lead.
Now Peter Neff needs runner to stay alive.
Turn card now. 8 of diamonds, and that's not going to do it. Neff drawing dead and eliminated by Suharto. Neff, a 22-year-old from Los Angeles with his first World Series cash. It's a good one.
Boy, these payouts are getting serious.
Suharto, the Toronto accountant, now at 4.3 million chips. All right, let's get back to our featured table. Tiffany Michelle sits there, and she's given Christian Dragomir all the poker trouble he can handle.
5 million.
Keeping track in your head.
Yeah,
How many of these are yours?
I haven't lost a chip to someone else than yours. You're the only one I'm losing
You should
chips
play
to.
pots with me. I'm a magnet for your chips.
Yeah,
I have a crush on your chips. Or they have a crush on me.
maybe.
Tiffany feeling it right now. Seems awfully impressed with herself.
All right, action continues at this featured table with the blinds at 30 and 60,000, a 10,000 chip ante from each player. Joe Bishop looks at Jack 10 offsuit. Bishop limps in for 60,000.
On day one, Bishop got food poisoning on the dinner break. Pretty much spent the last 3 hours of the day in the bathroom getting blinded off.
Action folds over to Dennis Phillips. King tray of diamonds. And a raise to 310,000 from the big blind.
Phillips immediately announces himself to this table with a big raise from the big blind with King tray.
And Bishop makes an immediate call. They'll go heads up. The flop is 4 queen ace of diamonds. Phillips flops the nut flush and checks.
That would be a fortunate flop for Dennis Phillips.
Speed limit.
More fortuitous actions as Bishop bets into him for over $500,000.
Yeah, that would be an unfortunate semi-bluff from Joe Bishop. And Phillips, what do you do? Just move from St. Louis to Hollywood? He's acting like he doesn't like it.
All right, a call from Phillips. And now the turn card is a king. Oh, that's cruel. Bishop turned the ace high straight, drawing dead.
What a disaster card for Joe Bishop. He hits the joker, and the joke's on him.
Phillips checks again.
Let's do it again.
Bishop says 550 again.
Did you mention he's drawn dead, Lon?
He's drawn dead, yeah.
He's drawing very dead.
550 from Bishop. And a raise now from Phillips to 1.25 million.
Boy, things got very serious around this table in a hurry.
Call.
And Phillips thinks, thank you very much.
And this is a tough path that Joe Bishop is going down.
All right, river card now is a deuce of spades. Phillips check the flop and the turn. Not going to check this. 1 million chips.
Phillips value bets his nut flush, and grim reality is setting in on Joe Bishop.
This would just be sick. God, did you have it the whole way? Did you have it the whole way?
Bishop realizing Phillips might have flopped the flush.
$1 million straight.
Tough spot for Bishop.
Call.
He does call with the ace high straight, but Phillips has him beat. And that won't sit well.
Wow. Phillips played that hand about as well as you could, and a huge blow to Bishop.
Bishop shipped 3 million of his chips to Dennis Phillips.
Good hand, bro.
A gracious Bishop acknowledges the fine play of Phillips there. That is a tough pill to swallow. Bishop gave up more than half of his chips. Phillips now can claim the third biggest stack in the room, over 9 million. This Poker Fact is brought to you by FullTiltPoker.net. There is nearly a 1 in 4 chance of being dealt 2 suited cards. Of course, there are thousands of ways to play those cards. Back to the Rio, the E-Trade financial chip count tells us Brandon Cantu's the only player over 10 million. Chino Reams still with a strong stack as well. Let's get back to our featured table, which so far has been very kind to Tiffany Michelle and to Dennis Phillips.
What are all the signatures on your hat?
Poker players.
Anyone you knocked out or just your...
No.
Okay.
This is Phillips' first ever trip to the World Series, and his hat was supposed to be proof that he was here.
My name is Dennis Phillips. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. I'm a big Cardinal fan. Love the Cardinals and the whole bit. Wanted to get some autographs and everything from some of the big players out here. I've admired them and that. I thought it was a perfect combination. The hat was purchased and brought out here specifically to get the autographs on it. You walk down the hallway, you have to almost turn sideways. There's so many people. Oh my God. The names and the people you recognize that you've seen on TV the whole time. It was awesome. Everybody was willing to sign the hat, friendly, shake my hand, wish me good luck. Everybody from Phil to Jeff Madsen. Keto, I was at his table for a while. Well, Mike Manasaw, he took time out from an interview, said, hey, let me sign your hat. Wish me luck, went back. I mean, he couldn't be a nicer guy.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Once this tournament is over, this hat will never be worn again. It's going to go in some sort of little case or something. There's just a ton of them up there. In fact, most everybody on the hat is now eliminated. But that's okay. I really didn't want to play against those guys. They're better than I am.
They all might be better players than he is, but if this keeps up, who knows? People might one day want Dennis Phillips' autograph.
Action is on Dennis Phillips. He looks down at pocket jacks.
Dennis will be first to act.
This is going to raise it up to $250,000.
That is more than 4 times the big blind.
That should send a signal to the rest of the table. Garrett Beckman folds. Albert Kim folds. Now to Tiffany Michelle. She looks down at ace king offsuit from the small blind. And she will re-raise to $550. Back to Phillips.
Going up.
A re-raise by him to $1.65 million.
2 of the 5 biggest chip stacks in this room crashing into each other, and they're both holding big hands.
Just a stare down?
Phillips not interested in high noon theatrics.
Big decision for Tiffany Michelle.
If it gets ugly here, Phillips has Michelle covered.
Tiffany gives it up.
Aces or kings, right?
Tiffany with a big lay down there, did not even want to see a flop.
Dennis Phillips continues to assert himself here at this featured table. Let's go out into the field. Kelly Kim back in action. He has bet $600,000 on the river. Opponent Jason Riesenberg thinking it over.
Come on.
And now moves all in.
Riesenberg, a 25-year-old poker pro here in Las Vegas. If Kim calls, Jason's main event could be over.
You want to talk to me?
Kid needs almost $1 million to call. Kelly Kim folds pocket queens. Riesenberg will show. Oh, he's got quads.
Nice lay down from Kim.
1-7, sweetie.
Players can never resist showing quads.
Norman, I think it's part of the poker player's handbook. Yeah, Kelly lost $1 million chips on that hand, but it could have been a lot worse.
I was going to show you, no matter what.
All right, let's go to table 2. Chip leader Brandon Cantu has the post-flop lead, holding pocket 7s against Craig Marquis and his ace-queen high.
Cantu, one of 3 bracelet winners remaining, along with 2-time winner Fee Witt and 3-time winner Mike Matasso.
Action is on Cantu. He checks.
Marquis, 23 years old, attended the University of Texas at Arlington.
He checks behind Cantu. It's an ace on the turn. Marquis takes the lead with a pair of aces. Brandon Cantu checks. Marquis puts out a tiny 200,000 chip bet.
Perhaps Marquis trying to induce a reckless raise out of Cantu.
$1 million.
Brandon will oblige. Marquis will need 800,000 to call. Craig has the lead with those aces. Craig Marquis makes the call. River card now is a 10 of clubs. Marquis with those aces earns the check mark.
What you playing about?
Brandon wants a chip count on Marquis' stack.
Marquis got about 4.1 million.
I'm all in.
Cantu's going to raise enough to put Marquis all in.
The chip leader turns up the heat.
Call.
Marquis makes the quick call and will win the 12 million chip pot. Wow.
That's what I thought.
It's tough to know where you stand with Brandon Cantu, but Marquis made the right choice with all his chips on the line. That's the planter's good instinct moment.
What a call. What a turnaround. Sometimes you can force a middle stack to fold for their tournament life, but Marquis had a pristine read on Brandon.
Mike, the kid says, that's what I thought. Just like that. Snap calls and says, that's what I thought.
Craig Marquis is the new tournament leader. Cantu's audacious style of play had put him on top, and now that same style makes him just one of the pack.
The Planters Good Instinct moment is brought to you by Planters. Instinctively good. 2008 World Series of Poker, presented by Milwaukee's Best Light. Main event.
Welcome back to the Rio. This small and talent-rich field is creating stunning action everywhere you look. At table 2, Mike Matiso raised the action with a suited ace-king. Brandon Cantu re-raised with ace-queen of hearts. Action now on Chino Ream.
I'm all in.
And Chino pushes all in with jacks.
You're all in? That's what I said, buddy. Like insta all in. Like raise under the from the wall and hole, re-raise 600, insta all in.
The mouth knows what that means.
Mike with one of the shorter chip stacks.
All right.
Matiso folds.
Another disciplined fold from Matiso.
Cantu lays it down as well.
What'd you muck? Let's sit. I got you both beat.
Oh, really?
Really?
Hard to believe.
You had ace king?
I was insta shoving you.
I was insta reshoving both of you guys. How's that?
Ace king suited. The mouth said no to a coin flip at
I
best.
only want to put it in when I got the best of it, buddy. It's that simple. It's that simple.
The world's shortest poker manual by Chino Ream. Back to the featured table, Dennis Phillips and his St. Louis Cardinals hat have been having plenty of good times. Dennis with a suited queen-8 called a pre-flop raise of Garrett Beckman, who leads with ace-queen.
Phillips feeling his oats, calling that raise.
Flop is 7, 6, 10. Beckman with ace-high right now. Phillips with a straight draw.
Beckman, a 23-year-old pro who's a pretty nice guy under that hood.
Beckman checks. Dennis Phillips checks. It's a 9 of clubs, and Phillips hits a straight to the 10. Beckman, though, with a nut flush draw. Beckman bets 280 on the draw.
Beckman, a bad time for a semi-bluff.
Phillips has the straight, raises to 600,000.
All in.
I call.
All in and a call.
You got the flush?
Raise to 600.
I got the straight.
Call.
Phillips now has Beckman on the edge of elimination.
The rule at the moment is stay out of Dennis Phillips' way.
No kidding.
Beckman needs a club to win the hand outright. An 8 would split the pot. Otherwise, he's done.
River card, 4 of hearts. Garrett Beckman knocked out in 31st place.
Dennis Phillips on a roll.
Beckman takes home $193,000 from this main event.
And that is a runaway trucking account manager.
He's now the chip leader with over $12 million, with just 30 players left in the room. The chip average over $4.5 million. Out in the field, one of the shorter stacks called all in against the former chip leader Nikolai Losev. Nick Slowinski is at risk with ace-10. Losev with queen tray.
Queen tray just pushed more than 3 million chips in.
I made the right decision. If I'm out, I'm out.
It's Nick's sister Melise, whom he learned the game from.
Slowinski at risk in a sea of insanity.
Flop is 7-9-5. Nick's still good with ace high.
Hold up.
The blinds are at 40 and 80,000, and Losev bet 3 million on queen tray.
He's in trouble now. Turn card's a king.
2 outs cut out. I got a flush draw on top.
I know, I see, baby. I see.
A non-heart queen or tray would knock Slowinski out.
That's just
the river card, 7 of spades, and he doubles up.
I knew I was being forward.
A big celebration from the Slowinski clan.
Nick, you're the man.
2/3 of Losev's chip stack gone on queen tray.
A former chip leader. Slowinski now with over 6.5 million chips. He's a player in the main event. At table 2, Mike Matiso raised pre-flop with ace-jack. He was called by Paul Sneed with holdings of ace-9 of clubs.
The mouth has been so selective and patient at this main event.
Now the flop, and wow, all the aces are out. Trips for both players. Matiso in great shape with a better kicker.
Great spot for the mouth.
Mouth will act first. He checks.
Mike is going to slow play it.
Sneed in the Jets jersey is from Kings Park, New York, a retired CFO of a biotech company. He checks.
Sneed wouldn't take the bait.
Turn card now. Oh, is a 9.
Ouch.
And Sneed turns a full boat.
Sneed's got mouth nailed.
Matiso with the trip aces, which are second best. That's $500,000.
I'm all in.
I call.
Matiso with an insta call to put himself at risk.
Don't show me 9's full.
Sorry, Mike, it's aces full.
And Matiso runs into horrific luck.
Sneed in great shape.
I got him. He's drawing dead. He's got 2 outs. He's got 3 outs.
How does he hit a card? How does he call 500,000 more and hit a 9?
Debbie's 5?
I just felt weakness, and I came over him with 500 for 500 more, and he just jumped right on.
He's got 3 outs.
Rolling right now?
He's got 3 jacks.
What a miracle he
He needs a jack or another heartbreaking main event finish from
never win the
Mataso.
pot either. Jack!
Rivers a king, and that will be the end of Mike Mataso. They're making sure Snead has him covered. Mike Mataso, the last of the big-name pros in this main event, gone in 30th place.
You knew we had it.
You took him down.
Snead gets congratulations from 05 runner-up Steve Dannenman.
The mouth had a day one misstep and one other potential blow-up, but overall was in brilliant form. Yet disappointment again, his 4th deep run in the main event this decade.
Snead celebrates with his wife, but one man's joy is another man's sorrow.
You know, I feel great. I never expected another run like this. I told somebody before the tournament, like, I'll probably never ever have a chance to win this tournament again, you know. And here I was again with a chance. So it's just a little emotional, but I mean, I love life. Things are good. It just sucks. Sorry about that, man. Hello, Mr. Cunningham. Alan, it's a big pot out there, buddy. Come on. Don't be scared.
I call.
Only a donkey would make that call.
We play at FullTiltPoker.com.
Back in the Rio, just 29 players remain at a quieter field now that Mike Mataso is making his exit.
Thanks, you guys.
The pros always say the worst moment of the year is when they get knocked out of the main event.
So that World Championship bracelet eludes Mike the Mouth Mataso once again. Let's get back to action at our featured table. Dennis Phillips, the tournament chip leader, will not play this hand. Ivan Demidov on the Milwaukee's Best Light Pocket Cam with Pocket 5s.
These Soviets are tough.
The Soviets fell a long time ago. He's from Russia.
I know what I know.
Demidov, though, will raise it. He likes to be aggressive to 225,000.
And hey, I'll tell you when the Cold War is over.
Action folds around to Joe Bishop. Joe Bishop with pocket aces.
Do you know what they call pocket aces in the lumber business line?
Tell me.
Pocket aces. It's a very straightforward group of guys.
He makes the call with the aces. Action now on Christian Dragomir from Romania.
I'm not folding.
Okay. But if you go all in, will you say the thing about, I've had enough of this, I'm all in, will you say it that way?
I just had enough of this. I'm only.
Okay, he's all in with pocket 10s.
25 out front, Christian.
I hear the count.
Let me do the count, please. My friend from Russia.
This Eastern Bloc Iron Curtain thing bothers me.
We go back like years ago.
Dragomir's a comedian now.
So it's 1.3 and this.
1.3 and that.
Demidov with pocket 5s. Bishop can't wait for the action to get to him.
Dragomir waiting for Demidov. Looks like he's sitting in the catbird seat, but he's actually sitting in the electric chair.
Demidov will fold.
Ivan folds.
Call.
Yeah, a call with the aces. Dragomir at risk. He survived Helmuth. Can he survive this?
I'd actually like Dragomir's chances in this hand more if he had 10-4.
Bishop in great shape to knock off Dragomir.
I want a 10. Just give me that 10.
Simple as that. He wants a 10 that doesn't get it.
It's on the chart. It should be the 10 of clubs. Yeah? 10 of clubs. 10 of clubs.
Smack the check.
It's a 10 of clubs. It's not.
Dragomir in trouble. Had Demidov played, he would have hit a set right there.
Joe Bishop, the 19-1 favorite here, will take a seat and relax, while the 19-1 underdog will plead for a card. Christian Dragomir has to have a 10.
River card is a jack. Bishop wins the hand. Christian Dragomir knocked out in 29th place.
Maybe he'll take some of his winnings over to Phil Hellmuth's house, crack open a bottle of wine, and beat him again with 10-4.
Christian made quite an impression on this field and will have an amazing tale to share with the audience of his poker TV show in Romania. So now we're down to 28 players. One more player to go before this session ends. At outer table, a player is all in. Former chip leader and the man at the center of controversy, Nikolai Losev at risk against Nick Slowinski. Slowinski with ace high, Losev with 8 tray.
This was the Soviet pump faker, right?
Yeah. Slowinski with a chance to knock him off.
That is remarkable. 8 tray for all his chips. $1.5 million. Go figure.
And now the flop 10-4-10. Nick,
Hold up, 10-10-4. No outs, or no extra outs.
It wasn't Losev
not even a backdoor
earlier today?
At over $9 million.
Wow.
Turn card now.
9. We're good.
Nick will tell you.
Losev needs an 8 or a 3.
Don't need an ace. It's no 3, no 8. We're all good.
He's got 2 live cards, and now the river card.
Yes!
Is a 4, and Losev is gone just like that. Slowinski takes him out. Losev will win $193,000 and finish in 28th place.
Now who's the bully?
We are down to our final 3 tables.
And down to our final 3 line, as usual. Virtually every top pro gone. And as usual, it's a young group out there.
All 27 will return for a chance at the final table. For Tiffany Michelle, a chance at history. It's been a long journey, and for one of the game's greats, the road has come to an end. But for 27 hopefuls, the dream is still alive. 9 coveted seats now await at the ultimate final table for the most prestigious prize in all of poker. For Norman Chad, I'm Lon McCarran. See you next time from the World Series of Poker.